Well, we normally come into the Wyre Forest in broad daylight, and we thought we'd make a change, and we come at night. It's almost night. It's about 10:30.
The time of crepuscular, I believe it is called.
It's extremely crepuscular.
Extremely, yes. And it's quite interesting actually that you get all the creatures that you get in the daytime. You know, the things that we accept.
What do we expect to see?
Well,
hear?
The time just before dark and the time just before dawn, as I say, known as crepuscular. Quite a lot of things inhabit that period of the 24 hours, and sometimes just for a very short time. You know, I mean, classic example are bats. There's just one just gone over our head now. We just
what
come
kind
away
is
from
that
the house.
likely
Well, I
to
think
be?
that one's a whiskered because
Whiskered? What a lovely name.
Yeah, I just happen to know that it's one that it lives under the porch on the front of the house there, under the soffit board, and it's been there for about 4 years. And it's always just that single one. That's all we've ever seen. And the reason I know that it was a whisker because it came into the kitchen one night. But yeah, I mean, there's other things as well. What we're going to do tonight, it's just on that half light. We're going to go over the stile up into the top meadow and just into the wood there, and we're going to have a look.
Blob of white in the distance. I presume that's a cow.
I hope so. We're going to look for quite an interesting little creature or being that always brings back memories to me of childhood when summer nights, you know, and it's called Lampyra noctiluca.
Now, wait a minute. Nocta means night. Luca could be light.
Yes.
Vampira sounds like, a bat.
No, Lampyra, not vampire.
Oh,
yes.
Lampyra.
So it's a lamp of the night, a glowworm. Yes, I remember some years ago we went looking for them, and it turned out quite...
I remember you slipping down the bank
right, down the top
in
of that
full
bank.
stereo.
Yes, and that won you an award, didn't it?
Yes, it did, actually.
Yes. But anyway, I saw one the other night. This is the kind of spot where you're liable to find glowworms, where there's little open areas with something for them to climb up on. It's probably a little bit early yet because it's not really dark.
Well, can we talk about the glowworm and its life?
Yes.
Presumably at certain stages it produces this light, and what stage is it
if
at?
we start at the beginning, they actually glow. All the life stages glow. The eggs, even the eggs.
Male and female?
Male and female, yeah. Obviously, not obviously, but the female glows the most because her job is to sort of attract a mate. And the one way they do that is by the female climbing up a little tiny bit of grass, you know, just getting herself off the ground or in a prominent position and turning herself on, so to speak. And what it is, it's quite unique. The actual light is, and this applies to the larvae glow as well. The larvae are incredible things. It's the last 3 or 4 segments of the body which actually oxidizes a chemical called luciferin.
Lucifer.
And it gives off this cool, cold grey, greenish light. And it doesn't produce any heat. It's a chemical reaction completely. And it is really quite bright. If we find one later on, it's as bright as that light on your tape recorder.
Goodness.
And what happens is, the female, as I say, she climbs up this little bit of grass and sort of starts glowing, and the males are flying around and they see her lit up, and then they come down and mate.
It's a constant light, isn't it? It's not a flashing light.
Oh no, it's
not
constant.
Like a firefly.
But that's right. The interesting thing is they go out, and I suppose they get run down, so to speak. You know.
Don't we all?
And when I used to go out to the pub in my drinking days, I'd go down the railway line about this time of night, and they'd all be glowing down the side of the railway line. But when I came back home, I never used to see any, and I used to think it was for other reasons. But I don't think they can actually glow for that long, you know. Mm. But anyway, we haven't found one. I always remember the first time I saw them when I moved over here, about over 20 years ago. I was sat down near the Newells at Far Forest, and I was on poacher patrol.
With your club?
In those days, the wardens, one of the jobs of a warden was to look after the wildlife in the forest, you see. They don't bother nowadays, they just write letters and fill bits of forms in and that. But I had to sit there in a Land Rover at 4 o'clock in the morning because there was a lot of poaching going on in those days.
Deer?
Yeah, deer. And I sat there in the Land Rover and I was partaking in that disgusting habit, smoking. And I was throwing my cigarette ends out the window, and I was sitting there, and you've got to get this, isn't it? And I'd look down, and I would get out and sort of stomp.
Oh no!
I must have squashed about 40 glowworms before I realised what they were, and they almost look exactly like a cigarette end. Anyway, I mean, the thing is, we'll have a walk down the meadow and... Oh, hang on. There you are, there's one. Now, see, I wouldn't have...
Right
It's under
underneath the bracken.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
really on the
expected
ground.
it. Yeah, I wouldn't have expected it there, you see. Oh, there we are, he's quite good, isn't he?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. And the other thing is, they don't seem to have the ability to go out quickly. You know, if that was a normal thing, it would either run away. So I'm going to put the torch on it, and you'll see.
It just looks like...
See, you can hardly see it. Look, it's just got his.
There's nothing there, really.
Just got its
tiny little green light. Oh, it's a...
See it, look. Just like a little grub.
Goodness. It's what is about
a centimetre long.
Centimetre. And it's still growing. You've not put it off.
No.
And it looks like as you say, one of the green lights on my recorder.
That's right. Just as bright, isn't it?
It's more than a pinpoint, isn't it? It's about tenth of an inch.
Well, I say it's the last 3 or 4 segments, you know. So anyway.
Well, we've done it.
Done it again.
I'm so pleased that they're still in the forest.
Oh yes, yes.
In spite of all the clearing which took place.
Lovely story about the glowworm, you know. The little lad, the little junior glowworm, came home from school with his school report and gave it to his mother. And when Dad came home, she said, "We've got our little Johnny's school report here. He's quite bright for his age."
Oh well.
I've just had a marvellous thought. You know, I do a lot of fishing.
Yes.
Wouldn't glowworms be good to stick on a hook? Because
they could fish.
The fish would see them from 400 yards.
Draw attention to themselves.
Yeah. I'm joking, of course. I wonder if they can glow underwater. I think there's a need for an experiment here.
Now then.